Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using White Newman, a Sacred Animal Tarot created by Elba BG. Website on the bottom is liminal11.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed. There's some websites here on the bottom. Feel free to freeze frame and check them out. I thought there was a Colette Baron Reed one. I, for some reason, couldn't find it. But if you look up Colette Baron Reed on a search engine, you should easily find some information if you're interested. What do we have for Capricorn? That's a... There's a... Okay, I don't know. Let's go a little farther. I don't want to prejudge this before we get it out there. Oh. Literally, that's what came up for... That's weird. That came up for Virgo. Very weird. This is very similar to Virgo. Because they had this card show up too, and this fell out of the deck when I was shuffling. The World card. You have a chance for a change here. And you have very deep ties to this situation. When I first saw this card come out in the beginning, it's compatible with you. It's an Earth card. But it didn't feel good. And the question is, why doesn't this feel good? You know what you want. Okay, there's something here. Whatever you have, it's not what you want. You got the Black Newman with the... Is that the six? That's the Six of Wands. That's the Success card. This is very odd. This is a lot like Virgo's reading, and it's kind of throwing me off. But I feel like there is differences. There's definitely differences. No, yours is different. Because now the more I feel it is like... You have success. Whatever this is, you have success in something. But I feel like there's something else here that you accepted that you couldn't have. Back in the past, you accepted you couldn't have something. And you made peace with that. Whatever that was. But now, something's coming forward where you're like, I can have what I actually did want to begin with. But to do that, I have to break a bond with something. Is that... Let me just do some clarifying on that, because... Let me just be sure. You've got the Seven of Cups, and you got the High Priestess half in, half out. I'm very bonded with whatever I currently have. This seems to be like... I think this is why this is hard. Capricorn doesn't usually make these choices lightly, but they don't give up what they've worked at. You guys don't give up what you put effort into. If you built something and made it a certain level, you don't usually change your mind. You don't invest your time in something just to give it up. But this might be like what I have. Like if you're going to use like a scale of 1 to 100, 100 is the perfect grade, and 1 is just like, I don't know why you showed up. Whatever you currently have, it's like 65 to 70. What you could have had, well, what you have the possibility to get now that you decided you couldn't have is like a 98 to 99. That's how it feels. It's just like, it feels like that's what I actually want. It's what I've always wanted. What I have is acceptable, but it's not what I really wanted. And it's like I have to break this bond to get what I want. It's a heavy weight, though. That Black Newman is telling me, like, I feel empty. I feel like what I actually want is not here. Oh, this is a harsh okay. This is a harsh example. You're going to know if it fits or if it doesn't. If it's not you, then it's not you. But I feel like those of you this is going to fit with, you're going to feel it. It's probably not going to make you happy, so just take it with a grain of salt. It could be like a marriage or a relationship. It could be a career. It could be. It feels like for a lot of you it's the other. But take it with a grain of salt. You got in a relationship with somebody that you liked, that you did care for. They had same values, and it worked. For whatever reason, you didn't think you could have who you really wanted. For what? But now they're, not only are they available, whatever this is, or whoever this is, they're interested. And this is a very big conflict. Huge, huge conflict. If that's how this is coming in, and you know if it is or isn't, it's either already there or it's not. Because I feel like this is kind of like, that's not who I am. I don't do that stuff. But the pull is very great. It doesn't have to mean you're going to cheat on anybody. I say that with the, you decide how that fits. But it may be like, well, I don't want this marriage anymore, and I could have who I really want. Do I want to take the steps to dismantle this marriage? And that's a lot. That's a lot to ask. You know if that fits or it doesn't. You already know. Don't worry about it. So for some of you, it's definitely a career thing, or it's an investment in something. Could be an investment in where you live. You put a lot of effort and time and work into it. You didn't think you could live where you wanted to live, whatever that is, but now it's going to be a big change. It's like I have a lot invested here. Not only the time and effort I put into building this place up to where I want it to be, but I have community ties. I have, emotional ties to the things and people around here. It's a lot. It's a lot. Whatever this is, it's a lot to ask to change it. But it does seem to weigh on you quite heavily. Quite heavily. I feel like you've been holding back on this. If this reading is hitting, whatever it is, whatever subject it is, take it with a grain of salt. I've been trying to wait it out like it'll just pass, like it'll just go away, it'll just stop. I'll just wait it out and it'll go away, but that's not what's happening. It's like I dream about it. It randomly pops in my head. The longer it goes, the more I want it. It's not disappearing. You have to find a way to make peace with this, one way or another. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm not saying anybody should do anything. If you decide to go towards what you truly want in life, that phase will come in, a whole new phase will come in. And you may be a lot happier if you can make peace with how you're changing things. That does seem to be a pivotal moment. If you can make peace with how you're changing things, if you decide to go that route, you can be very happy with it. It's very pivotal there. I feel like whatever it is that you want, this moment will haunt you for the rest of your life if you don't go for what you want. You have to make peace with either going for it or not going for it. You have to find a way to make peace with it. I do feel like this moment in life is going to haunt you. If this reading is hitting, it's going to haunt you. I feel like the best way to do this, take it with a grain of salt. Do what you got to do what you want. Like it's just advice. You don't want it, don't take it. Think it out in both directions. How do you make it work and make peace with it, making it work? How do you walk away from it and make peace with walking away from it, walking away with it? And I'm having a real hard time with that direction, but do what you got to do. When you go through the thoughts, you're going to know where the euphoria hits. You're going to know what you need to do. It's scary to look down both paths, because once you look down both paths, you're going to know where you need to go. And it's going to become, if this is something you need to do, it's going to get that much heavier. If you can make peace with letting it go, that door will open up. You'll see where you need to go. So maybe go down that path first. Think out that direction. If you can really do that, then do what you got to do. But I feel like if you look at the path to make it happen to what you really want, I feel like that path is going to get very strong for you, and you're going to start doing what you need to do. The world is here, and this is why I'm saying this is going to haunt you. This moment in time is probably going to haunt you either way. It's just being at peace with the way you worked it out. Because you know what you really want. And Capricorn is very stable. Like, y'all are very stable. It's very rare to find one that's not, in my opinion, in the sense of like you go where you want to go, and the way you handle life is the way you handle life. This situation may, if you don't address it, you may make a random decision that you're not expecting. It's very out of character for Capricorn to do that, very out of character. But the tension might build up so strong that you might do something that you normally wouldn't. For those of you this is hitting for at this point, they're like, if you can make peace with it now, you don't have to hit that random moment. But it's kind of like a pressure cooker. It's building, it's building, it's building, it's building. Especially if you're like me, and I've learned this the hard way. I keep telling myself, not going to do, not going to, not, nope, 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 nope. And then the moment happens, there you go. And it's like, I said I wasn't going to do that. But the pressure built so high that usually it's like when I'm ticked off at somebody, and then I'm like, I'm not going to say something, I'm not going to say anything, I'm not going to say anything, I'm not going to say anything, and then it's not a good way to do that, by the way. Not for me, anyway, because, then you say stuff you really didn't need to say. You go way too far with it. I'm just saying, if you let the pressure build up, you might do a lot more than you really wanted to do, because the pressure just pushes you forward. There's a lot of possibilities out there for you. If you just start looking for them and you just start sorting it out, you can make peace with whatever you're going to do, what you need to do. The pressure is building. The situation is not going to go away until you make peace with it one way or another. You got to find your new goal. You got to find out where it is. I'm going to push my luck and go back to the thing. Say you married somebody that you like, but you're not in love with them. Maybe you never were, but you liked them and you thought that was enough. Just, if that hits or doesn't. So don't, if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. If you decide to stick with this, one of the paths you might choose to go down is to stick with this, but you have to build this relationship stronger. You got to make it more of a connection. You have to build that connection even stronger than it has been. So it's kind of like, what do we need to do to make this connection stronger? How can we make this more come together for both of us? By doing that, you might find out some truths that you might have been avoiding also getting. Because maybe you and the other person you got this connection with felt the same way and had the same intensity. Maybe they've been making peace with that in their own way. You might find out some things you don't want to find out. Just keep that in mind. There's a way to forge this ahead. You can keep what you have. You just got to find a way to make this current situation stronger and more to your liking. You got to change something here, or this situation's going to haunt you. When you get in connection with your truth and what you really need to do in this situation, it won't be as hard as you think. But it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna definitely be one of those moments where you look back and you just gotta make peace with what you chose to do. Because I feel like for those of you this is gonna hit with, this is a really pivotal moment, and it's gonna haunt you one way or another. It's just looking back and making peace with what you decided to do. Walk away or go to stick with something, or walk away, whatever it is. Even if you walk away, you're not going to just it's not like you're going to just pack up and leave. I don't really feel like that's going to be how it works for most of you. It's going to be a process, and it's going to go over time. But you got to make peace with whatever you choose, so you can look back and go, you know what, that was a difficult situation either way. I did the best I could, and I'm at peace with what I chose. If you can make peace with it, you'll be okay. Hopefully that makes sense, because I feel like there's something here. They're like, you know what you want. You got to make peace with either going towards it or going away from it. If you can just make peace with it, you'll be okay. Otherwise, it's going to haunt you for years to come, and it's going to drive you crazy. So I'm going to let it go there. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.